Oh.
Sorry, I'm not perfect, Phil.
You should be. We used to think you were, now, I don't know, I'm gonna have to cross that one off the list.
You
It's
showing
not
me that
perfect.
time?
No, she's not.
Can you get that down, it's coming in.
No, he's not gonna make it.
Oh,
You got something.
well, then we'll call a meeting order. 6:33. So first order of business, approval of minute. June 9th meeting. So, motion by Jerry, is there a second?
I'll second.
Jerry, you got any questions on any of this?
I'm gonna abstain just because I haven't had a chance to look at the minutes.
Huh?
I'm gonna abstain just because I haven't had a chance to look.
Well, sorry, take time. Yeah, if you wanna. Like to?
How do I cast? I'm just okay.
Why am I assuming isolated?
They're degrees. No, okay, they're really good.
Maybe next week's not good, I got another idea for you on
Okay,
the board and stuff, on the, for the walls of that.
okay.
I just plugged it in. It's up now. I think I can do copies for everybody on this one too, so.
Oh, I have that one. You want one?
One
It's
is,
Charmaine's report.
oh. She not here?
Do you wanna sit by me, Scott?
So,
You know,
You're gonna sit with us today.
that's right. Good with it now.
You good with that now?
Yep.
Oh, okay, well, I have Z here.
Can you pull that for me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You need to borrow my computer, I got VPN on mine.
Thank you. Yeah, you too.
You don't have like the little circle in the bottom, it's like, Cisco and Ethernet?
You guys specifically asked us to put it on, I think.
It should be defaulted for her as well, you would think.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
What's my password?
It'd be the same as your computer.
Oh, okay.
That's your minutes?
Yep.
Let's go get the minutes. Got a motion made and second for approve the minutes. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Alright, I guess we have to try and arrange a report here. Recycling fairgrounds and trails in, she didn't say too much about recycling. She don't have any told yet. As far as the fairgrounds, there's a lot of stuff been done, but there's, sounds like there's more than used to be done. Got a farm with a cooler and a truck rider, which is a former OLS booth. So I guess, we'd like to take it out, but I don't know what they want to do in lieu of it. Jerry here? Schultz?
No,
No. So you're gonna get a report from me either. Winter storage and most community program. Is that community club building, is that log building?
No, that's the, right as you come in the back gate there, on the north side, it's that gray tin one.
Okay,
I think it's got a big sign that says JC's on it.
so it sounds like they want, redo their contract or whatever it is. Pay $200 a year for the building on the grounds.
no, with that one, it's the maintenance wants to rent it from them to, their contract is already renewed. Or like an addendum to the contract.
So, we're gonna reduce the rent? Is that what the proposal is?
Yes, and I think that they were kind of leaving that up to you guys, if you think it should be reduced and by how much. It sounds like it's just for this winter.
How much storage space do we need for,
Huh?
we start renting more storage spots?
Why would we need a lot more storage if we're gonna have that multi-purpose building done?
Because the multi-purpose building is going to be used for a wedding.
Well, true, I mean, but it's not for winter storage.
The only thing I could think of, Tony, is because they're gonna be renovating the grandstands, and all that stuff's gotta get pulled out. And I don't know, I mean, I think they're starting this fall, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And if they're not completely done, they don't wanna be putting stuff back in there underneath the grandstands that they're still working in. It's the only thing I can think of.
So it might be if it was a temporary, just.
It's just
Yeah,
one
it's
year.
just for
Yeah,
this
it's just
winter.
for this winter.
Well, what's your pleasure, wanna give them a reduced rate on the, rent or not?
Do you know for sure that's what it is? Have you talked to
It's
your?
I haven't-
it's in the,
It's $200 a year.
I just got this before.
right, yeah, no, but it's in
I mean,
the,
it's really not a lot of charge.
that, this winter storage,
Yeah.
it's gonna be called that last paragraph under fairgrounds.
I'm surprised that you even mentioned it. We pay a portion of the 200 for
You
use.
got water or nothing in there?
No, it's just a
It
gravel.
doesn't say what he wants to use it
Gravel
for,
bullshit.
storage,
It's a
so,
gravel
like, he doesn't say
pole.
what he specifically needs it this year.
Yeah, well, it said with the grandstands being worked on right after the fair, cause they have storage under the
How big a
grandstands.
building is it?
How big?
Yeah,
Probably 100 by 50.
Oh, I see.
that's damn cheap
Yeah, that's
storage,
not super.
Okay.
Well, yeah, yeah,
if you think about it.
I mean,
Pretty cheap.
You think about these guys that storing pontoons, pay $50 a month.
uh-huh, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cheap to be able to just throw stuff in there for.
I'll make a motion to do it at a reduced rate.
What?
Do it at a reduced rate.
What, at what
I
time
will
of rate?
reduce rate though.
Pat?
Your motion, right, I was
It's only
saying,
through the winter
So,
already.
or that we would pay them $100 out of the fairgrounds budget for rent, I think
Yeah.
that they still pay the rent and.
Mm-hmm, and you just get them on it.
For one time,
We only need it this year,
How
right?
big of a building is that?
I think it's about
50 by
150, somewhere in there.
I think $200 a year.
But they're only renting the ground, they own the building.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
oh, is there a second?
A second.
Alright, a motion made and second, any more discussion on it? Not, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Cheers, player. Alright, now there's the bridge, trails in, and the stove. I thought we approved the stove, increased the funding for the stove last month.
yes, but you guys approved it to come out of her operating budget, or out of the Trails End operating budget. So I think she wanted it just for reconsideration for another funding source.
Well, I thought we had decided in the, last month in the, to take it out of the budget, that if they ran short, we could work out a contingency.
Yeah, and it looks like they are already running short, so that's, you know, in the Trails End here, it says currently the budget looks like we're 7% in the red already.
In the red already,
And I think she's talking about,
projected in red.
well,
'Cause they
with
haven't
what's
done
come
it.
in so far for revenues, they're expecting more revenues to come in, so I think she's not just looking at the expenses, she's looking at the net levy impact.
Right, but that, you aren't gonna know the effect of that till later on, on the actual effect. If there's money in the budget, I'd just soon take it out of the budget, and, we can work on the operating, you know, as it comes along if we have to. I don't know what you guys feel.
Yeah, that's what we agreed on
Yeah,
last time, that it's supposed to come out of there, but at the end, if there isn't anything, then.
Did she take it to her committee to, overview the budget and see what they?
They
That's
said
all.
they made a motion to send it back to property.
So then with the recommendation to take it out of contingency?
Or another funding source.
you know, what are the funding sources?
Well, and she said on here, you know, some of the capital improvement projects, there may be some money left over, and there, I mean, I've got the ending balances from 2022 for what was allocated for capital improvement projects. There was still, $10,447.63 for fairgrounds, trails and roofs and floor left, but I don't know how much of that is still going to be spent on those related projects. That, I don't know what the, you know, specific projects
Well,
were.
and there's gonna be a request, I think, for additional dollars when all said and done, that, all-purpose building. When they get done with the floor and everything, and they might run over on that. I don't know.
What?
I don't think that multi-purpose building's gonna run over the 60.
No.
No. Well, whatever, your price pleasure is that.
So there's 10,000 earmarked in capital project for trails and
Well, and fairgrounds, yeah, and I don't, like I said, I don't know what those, you know, what specific projects they have left that they were planning on using that money for. Charmaine would know better
You
on
don't
that than I
take-
would.
you don't make sense to take money out of that, just to, do the trails in, and then have it run short.
Right, and that's why maybe we just table this till next month because Charmaine would be able to.
Do you think she could come to finance? Cause if we forwarded it to finance and if Char is able to say, yeah, we're not gonna use that on other projects, we can use that.
I'll make that motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to
Forward the stove.
forward the stove to finance to see if Charmaine can get with finance to see if what the other projects are for capital projects for the fairgrounds and trails on.
She seconded it.
You second that?
Did you see, in her report, she said CC's retiring,
Yeah. July 31st.
so we gotta do anything with that?
Justice Youth Extension wants to, the job description calls it a seasonal LTE position, and they want it to be a part-time position. So we just need to change the job description, and then we can post.
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen with the rest of her? She's been spread around about 4 different areas.
CZ?
So you're gonna make a part-time person take care of all those areas?
What?
Or just a portion?
No, they'll
Yeah.
probably do,
Yeah.
well, she may have
Yeah,
taken
just
on
don't know.
stuff just because she's passionate about Trails End, but there's a job description. Oh, hey, here it is.
Well,
That's CC, though, not Charmaine. CC at Trails End.
yeah. I thought Charmaine was involved in that also.
Char's involved in everything. She does a lot.
Well, you got a motion made and seconded to forward that stove purchase to finance. That's still not addressing the shortfall in the Charmaine's budget, we were just leave stand when we approved it last month.
Well, I think the shortfall she's worried about is.
And I haven't done the contingency transfer for, the, storm damage cleanup yet. So that'll help things too.
You should be even getting those guys' tree service all back too then.
Right, that's what I mean, I haven't done that transfer yet
Right.
to her budget,
That'll
it's on
help
my
out.
list.
Yeah, that'll help out.
Well, you have a motion made and seconded. Any other discussion on it? Not, all those in favor, signify by aye.
I,
Any opposed, motion carries. The next item on here is that swinging bridge inspection report. I don't know if you, did you look over that stuff at all? They don't look good. The price that we have it is even worse. Oh, I don't know.
It sounds like you're fine with keeping it as is and then inspecting after closer season.
I'll post it for limited use, limited to walking on it.
I think you wanted to limit to how many people could be on it at one time.
I think the sign says that.
Huh?
I think the sign out there says that.
They're talking about rebuilding cost $200,000. It's a pretty big bite. I mean, you know, we got money left for capital projects, but, we got a lot of requests for many capital projects.
We don't have that kind of money in capital projects.
Huh?
We don't have that kind of money in capital projects. ARPA,
For
Yes.
that, yeah.
Snowmobile bridge don't even cost that much.
It's wrong,
That was only $100,000 for a 100-foot bridge.
that's all steel.
Yeah.
Well, with that-
25,000 for
Yeah, they
25,000.
drive a tank across it.
I think they
And
got the
snowmobile
numbers out of
bridges.
whack.
Yeah, something's wrong there.
It's a cool bridge though.
Huh?
I'll-
Real bridges.
I'll try to jump on it.
This
You
new
know,
one,
I just-
No,
when
it
I-
says in here you're not
When I,
supposed to
when I
jump
go
on
out there and see
Bill.
if I fall through, if I
but I
don't,
mean,
I'll change the
I thought
sign.
you were a rule follower.
100-foot clear span of snowmobile, the bridge don't run anymore yet.
$100,000, that last one went up.
Yeah, and I said, that's all steel construction,
Yeah.
welding beams and everything else.
Which is a highway bridge.
We do got some high beams out there behind the shop.
Well, I think we just ought to leave it as it is posted for now. What do you think?
Yeah, that's too much. You don't have no money to build a new bridge anyhow.
Maybe get forestry to go to work on it.
Well, do we know that the 200,000 is for sure, or was that just a rough, was that an estimate from somebody, or was that just somebody throwing a number out there?
That's Morgan Fern.
That's
Yeah,
Morgan
that's
Parley.
Oh, okay.
Cut that by 30, alright. Okay, alright.
That's fine.
You wanna table that for now, or you wanna just leave it as it is?
This is at the back of your paper for.
This one.
Either way, we'd have to get bids on it.
Right.
I think just table it for now.
Extension, that's what extension decided to do too, just leave it signed as is for now.
And just table it,
Mhm.
alright? Motion back,
So moved.
I'll second.
motion made to second, second,
Tries
table,
to use the cars.
you postpone, not table.
Doesn't have the same?
Table, you usually.
Postpone to a later date.
Yeah, bring it back.
Table means you have to bring it back today,
Okay.
Oh.
Or you,
in this meeting.
or you could table, well, you can table it to a certain time, like you could say, I'm tabling it for the next month, but we're probably not gonna do it the next
Typically
month either.
postpone
Yeah.
for another date.
Do you want it on next month's agenda again, or?
I don't think,
No, I
we
wouldn't.
wanna
No,
take it
it's
up
not.
again this year.
So maybe
It's
closer to the end of the year.
postponed indefinitely. Alright, bathrooms, state update, Gary's not here, anybody got any information on it? No?
In your packet, I have attached the email Gary had sent with all of his updates.
Read that for us, Chair.
All that hand scratching in the back?
So he said that that one should have completed, or should have complete set soon for 2024 bid project.
We gotta go with that here.
So I'm assuming you need the plans, should have the complete set of plans soon.
So I take these rough drafts as we don't have the RFPs out for asbestos or demolition.
This is the draft item,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
don't think it's that FP yet. Draft is handwritten.
Wasn't the idea at the last meeting that we were gonna wait until the asbestos survey come back, and then as soon as it did, we put it up for RFP?
Jeff and I were gone, so.
Yeah, so it was that, you guys gave the approval to move forward with the RFP as soon as the survey was back, Gary to prepare it, Ashley and Rich to review it.
And so that's not all I got.
I don't think we have the asbestos survey back yet.
Oh,
I thought that was back.
I guess that was.
Yeah, they keep saying it'll be back in a week or two, and it's been 2 months ago.
Yeah.
They just don't seem to be getting it back.
So, there's gonna be no action on the bathrooms either,
So the RFPs we
huh?
can't put out anyways, but we might wanna extend the timeline on that.
Oh, we put a timeline on it?
Well, originally we were gonna have it back by next property meeting, cause we figured if we had it, at that point, we figured we were like 2 weeks out from asbestos, and we'd have it back, that'd give us a month and a half, but now,
Look at my,
that won't give enough time to put it out for our fees for long enough. I would still say we'll go with the direction that as soon as the asbestos survey comes back, we'll put it out for our fees.
Yes.
yeah, I
But-
think so.
But we should probably extend to the meeting after then, like September.
Okay, so the last update I got from Gary was on June 22nd, and he said they should be able to compile and finalize the reports within the next 2 weeks. Okay, so possibly he has them, but he's on vacation, so we'll reconnect on Monday.
So I think the motion was made to put it out till August, right? So we need to change to put that out till September now as soon as.
Probably.
I would think so.
So September property meeting,
You mean if the actual,
for the
To
bid
put the-
opening.
the deadline
Yeah,
for September?
Yeah, so September 8th would be our normally scheduled property meeting.
yeah, I would say, I'll make the motion that, we put the RFPs out as soon as we get the asbestos survey results back. And we open them at the September meeting.
September 8th meeting?
Yeah, and maybe put like the deadline September 7th or
Mhm.
something, that way you get a date it, collect everything.
Alright, there's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion's made and seconded, have bid opening on September 8th tentatively, after the RFPs come out, or come back. Any other discussion on it? None, all those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Where are we here? What are we doing about the bathrooms, nothing? Just table and postpone it?
It just says should have complete set soon for the project.
Alright. Moving on,
D, we already did.
what's that?
D, we already did.
Multi-purpose building aprons. What's that for?
Well, so I know you guys were worried about going over budget. I just got all the final bills, for this. And, we ended up coming in 6,100 under budget on that. We got some pretty good sponsors or donations, you could say. Boss Sons was the biggest. And then Lampert's, Alesco, Thompson's, and then the big help was the removing of the clay by Topenick and Justin Gable. So we came under 6,100 under budget. So I guess we're gonna request if we could have, as long as Chad can come in, without going over that, come in and put in aprons up front of those doors. Do a 10-foot apron. Basically it'd be one load of concrete. One load at 5 inches thick would be enough to do all the big sliding doors, plus the remaining service doors, just little aprons in front of those, with the remaining funds. And also, we're looking at putting a sign up on the end of, each end of the building, to show who sponsored that concrete. And I kinda have a proof of that sign if you guys wanted to see it. If I can get my phone number. This is kind of what it would look like, you know, I'm passing it around here. So. Or if you have any requests or changes you'd like to it, I mean, I can change stuff, obviously.
What kind of sign would it be?
This would be just like a thick corrugated plastic, about 1/2 inch, and then, so it's not something that's gonna just fade out right away or whatever. And then we just put it up above the big sliding doors on there, so.
So you have to pay for getting that made then?
Yes, and I haven't got a cost on that one yet, that Dennis Weimer, he's the one that does a lot of the other ones out there, so he kinda knows what we're looking for. We're gonna contact him.
Is that, there's gonna be vinyl on plastic?
There's Fast Signs in Eau
Huh?
Claire. Fast Signs in Eau Claire does all the corrugated stuff that
Yeah.
we use for the rodeos.
How big a signs are
4x8 is what I was
they?
thinking.
12 by 8?
Yeah,
You know, you might end up costing $1,000.
it might, I kinda did a rough estimate with the concrete and stuff and with Chad, and we're looking right around 4,500 with that.
With the
So-
sign and the concrete.
Not with the
Not with
sign,
the sign.
it would just be the concrete there.
Yeah, they still leave $1,000.
And still leaves us,
Oh.
yeah, so we'd still be,
For sign.
I'd be at 5,500, so.
I don't see a problem. Does anybody else got a problem with it? I mean, the money is budgeted.
Yeah, we got everything we need, we had enough, little bit of rebar left over. So we got all the rebar we need to go in there, it's just one more load of concrete and then the signs, so.
I think that apron's a good idea because, you know, it gets you up on concrete before you start into the building.
Yeah, we'll do 5 inches, just like what's in there. I don't know if you guys have been down there, if you get a chance, you should really go look at that. Chad did a very, very, very nice job, so.
Are they gonna put insulation under that outside or no?
I'll talk to Chad, see if he needs it, but I doubt that they would need to do that. Cause that would be insulation's expensive right now.
Oh, I know.
We have the gravel that's already there, we got some remaining, so,
They said no insulation because it's not heated.
yeah.
Cause they said no insulation because it's not heated. That's what they told us.
Make a motion to approve.
A second.
You're approving up to $4,500 for the
For the
1,600
aprons,
for the apron and the sign.
Aprons and the signs up to.
or the signs are not as well.
Signs will probably be pushing, 1,000, so. Okay, so we got 6,100 left. We can do the aprons and the signs for under that, I think we can, so.
But it may get a cost not to exceed.
Yeah.
6,100.
Well, not to exceed the remaining budgeted amount for the.
Remaining budgeted amount.
Right.
Okay.
Where did that come out of?
ARPA.
60,000.
If you want to hear, Jamie, you should
So-
have this, I can send you the Excel thing on it.
Even if the ARPA request was for concrete
Concrete and the multi-purpose, yes.
and multi-purpose, can the sign be added to that?
I think it's related to it because the reason we're doing the sign is because we have the donations to make that happen.
The concrete coming cheaper than what we had estimated, just
Um,
because of the donation.
about $8,000.
Yeah.
They gave us about 40 yards for free, so it was a huge donation. Due to the removal, I mean, had we not got these, I'll tell you right now, we would've went over budget by about 2,000 or 3,000. Because we didn't know how much clay was actually in there. I mean, I dug up a couple spots and we were at 4 to 6 inches. We hit the outsides and we hit spots where there was 18. So,
So what'd you do with the clay?
the clay went down to the mud bog, and it's all piled there, and it can be used for other stuff too. I know Scott had planned on screening some of it.
Yeah, we stockpile it all down there for it don't go anywhere, and we're gonna screen it for either pulling track or any other place that we can use it.
Possibly some of them barns.
It can be, yeah, and it can be reused in some of the barns if need be too, so.
To bring up the floor level.
Mhm.
Some of them are pretty low.
Yeah. So, that was, you know, Thompson's, of course, you know, helped out a lot with that, with bringing in the gravel, which was huge, because we ended up using twice the amount of what I had figured, cause I didn't know there was 18 inches in one corner that had to come out, so.
Alright, Jerry's got a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Alright, any more discussion on it? If not, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And now we're on to hospital update, I don't think there is much, is there?
Yeah, Gary has some notes, daily walkthroughs, removing items if needed, time and manpower. Asbestos survey should be to us in 1 to 2 weeks, so that's what we were told last month too.
So it's still no answer on that.
Yeah.
Rob also let me know yesterday that someone got in and graffitied one of the bathrooms. So, yeah, I know, right? That's, yeah, but, yeah, Rob does like a walkthrough, once a week.
The longer it stands, the more damage you're gonna end. Now I see here you got, thing about decommissioning the elevator.
Yes, so TKE was here yesterday. They're from the cities there who has the contract for the service of the elevators out there with Marshfield. So they came and looked at, we have 4 elevators. One is in the old hospital and the other 3 are in the newer part of the hospital. Those 3 are hydraulic pump elevators. Those are gonna take 2 to 2.5 days each to decommission.
Take what?
2 to 2.5 days each.
Days, okay.
Days. So state regs say that they have to get all of the oil out and then they have to get the pump out of the ground. And so it's just a lot of labor. The old one in the old hospital from like 1939 is just a pulley. So all they have to do is pull the cable, they'll put it in the car, and then that one will be done. So, and pin the door shut so there's not a fall hazard. So with the 3 hydraulic ones, the plan is they'll take all the oil out, dispose of that for us. They'll contract with the inspectors to come in, and then since the plan is to demolition the hospital, they're just gonna leave the cars in the hospital. So like imagine the hospital, it's like that big like waiting area where most of the elevators come out into. So they're just gonna take the cars, disassemble them in the shaft, and then put them into that waiting area. So then if we have a demolition company come in, they could possibly scrap some of the card rather than just.
What, the main reason for having them decommissioned or whatever, as I understand it, is because if you cut the electricity off, they'll leak down to the bottom.
Yes, so either way, they have to be decommissioned. We have to do this regardless.
What is your time frame on that?
I think, well, I told him to get back to me as soon as possible with a quote, and then we'd like to get on the schedule right away.
So, but I mean, he hasn't given you a quote.
No, they were just here yesterday. He should have it soon. I have no idea how much this costs though.
Well, we're talking 2.5 days labor each, that's 7.5 days labor.
Right, he thinks they'll be here for 1 week, his crew.
But yeah, how many people on the crew?
Well, 3 of them showed up yesterday, so I'm guessing at least 3.
I'd say you're probably better off figuring 4, but even so, you're looking at 28 man days labor. That's quite substantial.
We use wind off funds for that, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we'd be better off waiting until we get RFPs back on a demolition.
That's what I'm thinking.
Then we have to
Well-
keep the power on.
Right, and either way, the elevators have to be decommissioned, and a demolition company can't do that, it has to be an elevator company.
As long as the power's on, it still has to be decommissioned.
So there, okay. when you turn the power off, okay, there's a gap between the basement and where the pump is in the ground. So when you turn the electricity off, the elevator
Leaks down.
goes all the way down to the ground,
Yeah.
and there's a chance that the hydraulic oil will leak out. It's not guaranteed, but there's a chance. And then once you have a hydraulic oil spill, your cost is gonna really increase because you have to clean up
So
the
I'm
spill.
saying, my thought is that it might be cheaper to keep the electricity on for another month or two. To
Yes,
find out, you know, if we got an RFP, and what happens. Then we don't have to decommission right away.
Either way, we're gonna have to decommission it. That was-
Sooner or later,
Right.
but
That's
my
what,
thought is,
$2,500 a month for the
Yeah.
electric?
as part of the demolition cost, you could use the
We can use it anyways. We can use it, line down funds to decommission the elevators.
Well, I guess,
But where do the utilities get charged now?
Wind down.
Or
But
to
we
the
can,
wind down?
I mean, if we're talking 2 extra months of electric, that's $5,000.
Mhm.
Yeah, it might be longer than that at the rate these things are
Cause I
going.
mean, they're, 2 months out.
Yeah, he told me yesterday he thinks he can get me on the schedule for August.
Well, by then we should hopefully have an RFP back.
well, we won't have an RFP till
Probably till September.
September, but,
I meant asbestos evaluation.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
Once you get asbestos evaluation, you get a better feel for what an RFP might run.
For the demo, yeah.
couldn't they include the decommissioning of the elevators in the RFP?
Well, but then we'd be contracting with subcontracting with the, and then,
They'll raise the price probably.
right.
They're
And
gonna
these
figure it
people,
anyways.
TKE has worked on those elevators for years, so they know them. They've done the maintenance, they've done the service.
What if, perchance, whoever's demoing it wants them elevators?
He'll still be
Well,
there.
the cars will be there. They're leaving the cars for us.
Oh, the pumps? I mean, you might want the pumps and all.
I think the pump gets destroyed when it gets pulled out.
Yeah, I don't wanna start wrecking stuff before we actually have accepted an RFP to tear it down. Doesn't happen.
So we're gonna continue paying the 25.
And the other thing is, you know, this whole situation,
Get a quote, bring it to board. How about that?
you get a quote from, those situations, you know, that we think it's a dead horse, but you never know what might happen. And if you start destroying stuff, it might have some kind of a pretty good impact on it. I don't know, just throwing it out there. You wanna just postpone this, go ahead and get an estimate from them and not make a decision until August?
Well, Phil just said, maybe just bring it straight to county board.
Have a full board vote on it.
Well, we can do
So we
that
can have that this month,
at
yeah.
this month's county board.
Yeah. Mhm.
And on that note,
But you won't have any prices.
Well, I'll have
Well, she
prices
should
for
get-
the elevator
She'll get
evaluation.
quotes for that.
and then, for the bid opening for the demolition and asbestos abatement,
Why don't
Do
we
you want
just
that?
do that right at county board? Cause it has to go there anyways.
and we could maybe even still have that happen in August then.
Cause it would be at the end of August versus the beginning of August.
Okay, now time slips away, I think 2 years is a long time,
Yeah, it's not.
2 years is not a long time.
No.
Okay, well, then,
So do we wanna move up the RFPs into the August meeting?
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
When is the next meeting?
Last Tuesday of the month.
The 22nd?
Because if he's 2 weeks out from,
Well, and he said
Well,
1 to 2 weeks on,
from, when did he write these down?
he put a date at the top, June 30th,
Oh, well then, but on the 22nd, he told me 2 weeks.
at the last property meeting, he said 2 weeks.
Property meeting.
I don't think it's Gary that's the
Right,
holdup on
Yeah.
this.
No, I think he's asking and they're saying,
Right.
it'll be a couple more weeks.
Well, I would think we should have, our estimates back by county board. Would hope so.
Well, at this rate, I don't really know.
Well, I
But-
know, nobody knows, but,
I would think that you'd have it from the TK
I
elevator.
mean, you
though.
definitely
yeah,
don't, you
I
definitely
looked
don't want
at it.
less than a month for an RFP though.
No,
No.
If it gets much,
because we'll need a site visit in there.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's gonna, if we do September, it's pretty much gonna go to September county board, cause we'll have to go property then county board anyways, probably.
Which part?
The RFPs for demolition.
I don't think it has to go to property. Does it?
No, but
So we're thinking September county board meeting rather than August county board meeting for bid
I
openings?
just feel like it's gonna be 3 weeks from today, you know what I mean? I mean, if I knew tomorrow he was gonna have it back, I'd say, yeah, go ahead.
This is July, we still got 1 month.
Mhm.
Well, but in another,
if you go to August. it's
if
two
in
months.
another 2 weeks, it becomes less than a month for RFP to be out, and that's a pretty small.
Yeah, it's
time
a
frame.
small
I
window.
mean, cause if you have it open long enough, you know, if somebody's dragging their feet or didn't have a chance to come over and look at it, you might get more bids and better pricing. I don't know, I guess if you knew when the asbestos was coming back, that would.
Well, I would say,
Mhm.
put the RFPs out, they come back, I'd put them out as soon as they come back.
Right, but we're deciding what the deadline is, cause as soon as asbestos, comes back, they're gonna put out the RFPs. Do you want them to put it out till the August county board meeting or September county board meeting?
Well, I would say, if time is of essence, put it out an RFP for 30 days. Whenever you do. And then, if you don't come back in time, for, like, for example, if it runs into August and don't come back, you can always have an emergency meeting in September to speed this up. You know, you can also have an additional meeting in September just to handle that for bid openings.
But it's like an emergency meeting for full county board, you think,
Right,
it's gonna
that's
have
what I'm
to?
talking.
Okay.
It's a big enough project that I think it's worth
You think 30 days is long enough?
expediency.
Yeah.
I don't know why it wouldn't be.
I don't remember RFPs. Just wondering.
I think I did a month and a half for the jail, but that was a pretty big project. So I think 30 days is fine for this.
Is what?
I think it's fine.
I feel like it's just a fairly big project too.
Well, but there's no design services with this.
Right, there's no architect.
Right.
I just feel like,
That's where you run a lot of snags.
I
Yeah.
was just more worried that you won't get enough contractors in a short.
Well, I signed us up for VendorNet, so it sends our RFP out to like hundreds of people.
Okay. Good.
Mhm.
There's only a few companies that specialize in it.
Yep. Yeah.
They all pay attention to it.
So,
So 30-day RFP from the time of asbestos, results coming back, or if it takes a couple days to finish writing it from there or whatever. And then potentially call a special board
yeah,
meeting.
we can have a special board meeting, I think, I mean, if you want to make a decision. Like I said, time is creeping up.
Yeah, I was just worried about running short on not having an RFP out long enough to
Right.
reveal the terms, but seems like the common consensus is 30
you
days
know-
is plenty of time.
By the time you get a contractor, asbestos answer back, and a contractor,
Especially if you got VendorNet.
you gotta get asbestos removed first before they can demo it.
Well, I think the RFP was gonna be for asbestos abatement and demolition, or bid them separate, as I remember,
Right.
that's how we put it.
Right.
That's all.
But it might work out that you have them separate, and if it does, then the asbestos people gotta get in there first. Which holds up the demo crew, and it's gonna string out the whole project.
Either way, I mean, if it's a demo crew,
And then Christmas will be here.
The asbestos people will probably be the first ones in there, even if somebody bid the whole contract.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, you know, if you have separate contractors, the
Yeah, they
demo
might-
contractor's not gonna come in while they're in there.
Yeah, true.
Or if you have the same contractor doing both, they can get started, you know, the asbestos people can get started at one end, say for example, and 2 weeks later, you know, demolition crew can come in
That's true.
from the same company. Well, 30 days, I guess that's what we kind of,
So we need a motion on that then?
I think it'd be amending the previous.
Motion to amend.
so we're going to leave electricity down for, till you get a rat.
Or
I
what
think-
she's
I
gonna
think
get the
we should,
elevator,
yeah.
the
Quote,
the quote, and then bring it to court.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the
But I think, yeah,
gas is already shut off.
we could
What
cut,
about water and sewer? Is that still?
there's no reason why we can't cut water off, is there?
I don't-
Fire,
the fires,
no
well,
suppression.
We don't.
we don't need that because the building's mothballed, but, would you like the contractors to have a bathroom to use though?
They got
We
porta
got
potties.
poor bodies get all in.
Alright, then I don't see why we would do
And
that.
that's why you see contractors at Quick Trip all the time,
Here's what,
because they don't wanna use the porta potties.
Okay, so do we need a
So-
motion to shut off the water
Yeah,
and
do
sewer?
that.
I mean, I can't see paying them if you're not gonna use them.
We're not covered for water damage anyway.
Mhm.
So what'd you say, we're mothballed, what was that?
It means the building has essentially been, it's vacant. It's not, no one's in it, it serves really no purpose right now.
But if we get the electricity on, you could have an electrical fire, right?
Theoretically, yes.
You ain't gonna use water on electric fire anyway.
No! Pay attention! Today's safety training. Good
No,
job,
no,
Tony.
no.
Yeah, but if it starts, you start electricity starts a fire and it starts going, there's other parts that, the wood and stuff that starts on fire from there, you have water to put out.
Yeah, pump right out of the river.
I'm just saying.
They're close enough. All right, we have a motion on the floor, do we?
What is the motion?
Yeah, I wanna read.
We have two motions going on right now. The
What's
first
that?
one is the elevator decommission.
Well,
That was postponed county board.
Yeah, so,
that was supposed to.
get a quote,
Is it
take it to
motion?
county board.
So we're bringing that to county board
Yeah.
this month. Okay, and then I have a motion to shut off water and sewer.
Correct.
Yeah, two motions at the same time.
Well, sure, you don't have to do nothing, yeah.
It's, your sewer is based, your bill based on your water consumption, so if the
on-
water's shut off,
I
you're,
understand.
yeah,
You're the same utilities.
well, not all utilities. The water and sewer utility.
Do we have a motion on the water, cutting utilities off,
Is the
or the water
insurance
sewer?
cover fire stuff? Just not flooding?
I mean, what are we gonna rebuild if it burns down?
Well, I mean, they pay us, cause they're still gonna be.
No, I don't think it is, it's not covered,
So
because
nothing's covered.
we did not put property insurance on, because the intent is to demolish, so why pay for it?
And we're worried about liability then.
We're covered by
Covered for
liability.
Okay,
Yeah.
so even a flood or fire or whatever, doesn't matter.
If,
If somebody's on the property, we're.
right, yeah, we're just not covered for our damages.
Okay.
So somebody make that motion?
We'll do,
For the water?
we can only have one motion on the floor at a time.
To shut off the utilities.
Okay.
Water and sewer.
Yes, water and sewer.
I'll second it.
Need the
Yeah.
motion.
You say yeah.
Well, whatever. We have a motion made and seconded. Any more discussion on that? On the shutting off the water facility. If not, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. You took care of the RFP for the demolition and asbestos, so.
Did we vote on the elevators though?
That was just postponed, that was forward.
Okay.
No, it's postponed to the county board.
We don't need a motion for that,
No.
just postponing,
No.
okay.
Alright. Let me take the payment approval report later.
Do we have that?
Should be, should come through.
Yeah, but I don't know if anybody printed it. Did anybody print it? Okay, I'll go print one.
We'll print it.
Oh, yeah, I can
Huh?
go.
We'll print
I'll
it.
go to the office and print it.
What do you need?
Proof sale of flagpole at the old hospital.
Okay, so we have interest in both the big flagpole out front and the outdoor water fountain and that big rock out front.
Yeah.
But we of course need to put it out for bid. So I don't know how you feel about starting to sell things off from the property, or do you want it to just sit there until demolition happens? What do you think?
I mean, that's not really a structural thing, that's just cosmetic, right?
Yep.
Somebody comes and they can put.
I would say take it to full county board, let everybody decide on it.
To put a flagpole out for bid?
Some people will want to and some people won't, so.
Some people are hollering.
Did she send you guys a payment approval report?
At least if you put it out for bid, it's published. Otherwise, a lot of people won't know
She
it.
sent
Then you'll have complaints.
Well, we have to publicly advertise for bid.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think you realized.
Yeah,
it was a month
But
ago.
No, I
you
think-
want the county board to make all hospital decisions, is that what you guys are saying?
If you don't, somebody can complain that, properties, exercising too much authority, if you wanna call it that.
So
Yeah,
I
so I
think
would
we'll
say,
print one,
let it
but
be
I
on the
think
county
it's
board
gonna take time
agenda.
to review it, So maybe we just do.
So
2
then
months
it's
next
who
month.
voted to start selling stuff, who voted not to.
Okay,
I thought, so what is it? They're just gonna let.
so
the
we'll
board
just bring
decide?
that to county board too then,
Yeah, sure.
okay.
I guess this is gonna be controversial.
Well, it's a flagpole and a water fountain.
Yeah,
But,
Cause the water fountain, I
Which
think
aren't
we
really-
should figure out before winter, cause
Right, and
it's
it's
gonna
not-
freeze and crack and it's gonna be garbage.
And it's not really related to the building, it's just cosmetic decoration.
Yeah.
but if we start selling some stuff, they might wanna just start selling a bunch of stuff, so then we can do all of it at once.
Okay, cause yeah, this is gonna get pretty annoying if we piece by piece have to bring 80 things to
Yeah,
county
every county
board.
board meeting, you got a bunch of stuff you wanna sell.
Yeah,
So
I mean, 'cause there's a lot of interest in some other stuff out there too.
Well, maybe at the county board, we could say, hey, it's okay if we start selling anything cosmetic not related to the structure.
okay,
And just get like a ongoing permission, and then every time we could just approve my property or whatever,
okay.
make it easier.
but what other stuff is there?
You never know, we'll find out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So for the invoices, I don't think Brittany knew that property got moved up a week, so she didn't send you guys a payment approval
I
report.
don't see.
I can run one, it's gonna take a while, cause we're still having some very serious issues with our software, that, we've been trying to get figured out for a while, but, then we can just do 2 months next month if you guys
Yeah.
want, because otherwise you don't have time to really review it
Usually
anyway.
property payment approvals, report's not that long anyway.
No, and it's not holding anything back from getting paid, so the only ones would be finances that
The
would.
one, once the property approves stuff, it still goes to finance anyway, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna get approved in finance.
Right.
Without properties approved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can wait a month, do 2 months.
Alright. So you have a motion? Do we have a motion to send that fountain and flagpole to the full county board?
If we need it in a motion, I'll make it, but we're just sending it to the county board.
Or are you gonna?
I
Forward
don't
it.
think it needs to be a motion, just direction from the committee.
Absolutely water fault.
You would,
Just
Yeah.
sell it.
Bird bath, the
I
big
don't
bird
know, it's
bath.
gotta be controversial, it's probably better to just go.
And then Jonathan will move to send it back to property.
yep.
I think he hates his brother.
We're going in circles here today.
Mm-hmm.
Did you make the motion, you said?
We didn't need to, we're just sending it to the county board.
Okay. Alright, I guess we're going to a single point of entry in the building.
Okay, so the Safety and Security Committee, had consensus that we should move to a single point of entry for the courthouse. So Jeff has been talking about this for years. It's a big safety concern that we have so many different entrances into our building. So the recommendation is that we start locking the north, south, and west doors and have all of the public come in on the east side of the building.
Don't you want him on the west side?
I was thinking the opposite.
East side is your main entrance, it's your ADA approved entrance, which you have to have for your public, so. Unless you wanna remodel another entrance to make it ADA accessible.
But if we're worried about security, won't we want them coming over by your side? Because, okay, take for instance, somebody's going to court and they're all ticked off and they need to come over to your side. Now they gotta walk through all the employees.
Yeah, well, why do they need to come to our side if they're going to court? They
I
come
don't
in
know.
right straight out.
I saw a homeless guy down your side the other
They
day.
could take the east elevator up,
Correct.
He was mad about
but,
something.
The gates.
Yeah, okay, so, so the, building closes down at 12:30 on Friday, but the courts are still open. So after 12:30 on Friday and then after the building closes on normal days, we are proposing that we install like accordion style gates. So people enter the building after hours on Friday to go to court on the east side. Well, they're immediately stopped. Can you see my screen? Okay, good. So Pete Jones and I walked through, he's the court security officer, we walked through the building. So on the first floor, we would put the gate just on the other side of the fire extinguisher. So you still have access to the stairs and the elevator. So once you get in the stairwell and the elevator, yes, you can exit on second floor, but we would have a gate, again, just on the other side of the fire extinguisher on the second floor, so they can get out of the elevator, but there's nowhere for them to go. So the second floor would be secure, just like the first floor would be. And then once you get up to the third floor, there are two places we would need a gate. One is at the end of the ramp. So if you picture the third floor by the courtroom there, you can either go down the stairs or you can choose to take that ramp. So we would need one gate at the end of the ramp and then one gate here at the bottom of the stairs. So,
bottom of the stairs, of the stairwell that goes up to the jail.
no, that goes up to the courtroom. So like you come off of the
Some 5
elevator
steps there.
right here.
Just
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's the one that you gate off, but is that the stairs you're talking about?
No, they're talking about the east side with the elevator. When you come in the east side, the stairwell goes all the way to the third floor. So it's same with the elevator.
Wouldn't it be easier to change the court hours?
You can't.
Go ahead.
That's set by the
I
state.
don't know.
You go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, right. And see what I did, you.
Yeah.
Well, and then this just in general makes the building safer too. So if for some weird instance someone would get in after hours, they don't have access to offices, break rooms, bathrooms, things like
Because
that.
we did, have a homeless person in the courthouse after hours, with free room in the courthouse. How they got in, I'm not sure. Gary's been made aware of it. But my guess is they're probably in just on the site somewhere.
Well, we could have just very well come in before the door.
They can.
Closing time, miss it, and hid in the bathroom.
They could, but
Yeah, I mean,
They could still do that anyhow.
Any idea how much these gates cost?
Yes, I have quotes from from, Granger. Granger seems to be the cheapest. So, the one at the end of the ramp would need to be a 6 to 8 foot, and that's $333. And then the other 3 gates would need to be the 10 to 12 foot, and those are $384. So I think it's just about $1,500
For all,
for all 4. And I believe, Gary's not here, but I believe it's something our maintenance staff could install when
Yeah,
Pete and
they
I
just-
were talking.
They just secured the wall,
Yeah,
I can't believe it wouldn't be.
okay.
and then they just open out and padlock on the other side.
I see the point with the gates, but I still think that, just on your side, cause I feel like if somebody's gonna come in and cause problems, I'd rather come in by you, cause I feel safer if they have to get past you to.
I mean, they can still come to our door, we can still let them in our door, into our lobby if they need to be. But as far as public access, is the east side.
Are all the doors gonna be locked after a certain time? Or is that
No, they'll be locked all the
Always.
time,
badge accessible?
yes.
Yeah, so.
But the general public,
General public,
So during normal office hours,
then,
there'd only be one door to go in instead of all the doors,
Right.
all the time. And so,
but
I'm
those,
still,
the general public won't be that. You don't have to be buzzed in or anything,
no, they'll be able to,
just walk in.
it's just they won't be able to go in all the doors like before.
it limits the access when people aren't there.
So somebody's mad, they wanna talk to police
$1,500,
officers, they walk in Connie's
secure the
office.
building.
No, but like he
Reasonable,
said though,
yeah.
if you walk in the west, if they're mad at the police and they wanna see the police, they'll come in the west side and then dispatch talks to them through the intercom thing.
Maybe, and yes,
Maybe.
everybody knows that the only door that opens is the other side and they're just mad and wanna come in.
What are you gonna do, break in?
Well, I'm just saying,
I
I'm
know.
just saying, if somebody's mad and they wants to talk to the police, and now they come in on the west, or the east side instead of the west side, and they're not 100% sure where to go, they just know that's the door that's open, now they come into Connie's office, they're like, hey, I need to talk to a police officer, or Ashley, or Jamie's, or anybody's in that whole.
But we're in the process of getting the badge locks. And so that's why we wanted the window in Connie's office, so her office will be badged now, so you have to go to the window. And then we're working on doing that for Mary Berg as well, having,
On the sheriff's side,
window.
the badge works now.
right, but to
Yeah,
Phil's
they don't
point,
have
if a
Badge locks on their
disgruntled,
door right now.
Well,
So then we'd have to
But if
badge
it-
everybody.
maybe
I-
it's
isn't that the
coincidence, but
ultimate
last time I
goal?
come in there,
I
Coming
thought,
early.
with
It
this
wasn't-
project,
and the
It
door was
wasn't
locked.
mine, but I felt like
My
that
badge
was
front,
excessive.
and it open.
right, but if your concern is a disgruntled person coming in that door, Connie's office will be badged.
Well, who's gonna monitor the east side then?
Well,
It'll
we
be
can't
cambered.
afford that yet, but, yeah, there's
If
cameras.
it was up to me, you'd put 2 people there screening everybody that come through that building, including employees. If it was up to me. That would be the only way you could secure your building. But that costs 2 more people, that costs some renovation. We're asking for $1,500 here to secure the building after the hours,
That
as a
was-
start.
I don't have a problem with myself.
The
You know,
other,
and again, east door is your front door, it's already ADA accessible. That's a lot of money to remodel the west side to do that. That's why, we chose that door.
and their parking lot is
I
right
got
there.
parking lots available.
Mhm.
So,
I'll make the motion to come out of building and grounds then,
Courthouse
Courthouse.
repairs.
courthouse repairs.
And then the other thing with this is that if we do go down to that being the public entrance, staff will no longer be able to park in that parking lot
Huh,
on the east side.
So they-
they'll open that lot up.
Yes, because the public has to park somewhere, so.
And what does the staff think of that?
I don't think it'll be a big, it's like me, Jamie, park over there, Connie,
Yeah, I usually park on the street.
Jacobs, HHS people.
There's a lot
We'll
of
be
cars
fine.
in there every day,
Yeah,
but I don't know,
well, we can start parking in the street or we can park on this, in the south lot there.
Cause you'd be able to badge in the front door.
Exactly, you can come in, or staff can start parking on the west side since
Yeah.
visitors shouldn't be over there.
in the south parking lot too.
Mhm. it might take some adjusting, but I don't think it's a big deal.
Visitor parking only?
I'm gonna trust you on this, Jeff, cause you're next up.
And it's 4 sets of gates.
Somebody
Four
second that
gates, yeah.
motion?
Is there 2 on the 3rd floor?
I can second
Two on the
that.
third, one on the second,
Alright.
and first. And then
We got a motion made and seconded to install those gates
Seconded that.
for approximately $1,500.
I'm gonna trust Jeff, he says it's better. He knows
Who's
more
gonna
about,
lock them every day?
know more about security than I do. so.
probably Dawn. I'm sure Gary will add it to rotation for maintenance.
Repairs.
You heard the motion. More discussion. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
So then, like, for example, our badges will get us in anywhere then. Right now, I thought we
Whatever.
could only get in on the west side.
I'll clarify that with IT.
Yeah, it's whatever, clearance they've given you, but if that's
If that's what you
the
want,
case,
us,
if that's the case, then you should be able to get in all the doors like everybody else.
I've only tried that side, it might work on upside down.
I don't think it does.
You think you can only get in on the west side?
I think so.
Oh.
I think that's what you
Yeah,
wanted.
I think at that point, because of just to the county boardroom.
Right.
But that's,
But
you could
that's
still keep
still-
that,
Yeah,
right?
that
Cause
would work.
it's not like you would shut it down for badge people or.
No, if you, whatever you have when you're badged now isn't gonna change. The only thing that's gonna change is we're gonna secure the hallway so that you can't come in the east door and go on it. If you're west door, you still come in and go anywhere you want in the courthouse, but you have a badge to get you there. You gotta have a badge to get through, to get to the other part of the courthouse anyhow, so.
Yep.
No, it's not gonna change your badges at all.
Okay. What's this?
Is there gonna be a way to, okay, so there's a fire somewhere. We're gonna want to be closest to the fire, we're not gonna wanna drag a hose all the way from the east side all the way to the west side. Are we gonna be able to get in with the fire hoses if need be to any door? That would be a big concern.
I'll talk to Gary and make sure that you guys have a key to the gates, so that you can, or you guys got bolt cutters, cut the frickin' lock off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lock. It ain't a special lock.
And we can get doors open.
It's just a padlock is all it's gonna be.
But we try not to, we already wreck enough when we bring hoses in.
Yeah, but you guys like wrecking stuff, so
Yeah.
don't tell me that it's gonna bother you to cut a
Why
lock
do you
off.
think you always chop a hole through the roof?
Yeah, we need a hole, but no.
Yeah, that's more air in here.
Yeah, I guess discuss that with your department, but just cut the lock and slide the gate open.
So whatever it takes to get in,
Yeah,
that point.
I mean, $1,500, so. Fire department.
No, I was talking about like the actual door to get in.
Well, when
Oh.
you responded to that one call, you came to the west side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, if there's a fire, you're gonna be able to get in anywhere. We'll get
Okay,
you in.
you'll get the doors open if there's a fire.
Yeah,
Okay.
they'll probably evacuate the
Oh.
building. It'll all be
Yeah,
one.
somebody else will get you, we'll be getting it.
Yeah.
There's actually one.
That was the popcorn fire.
Yes, yep,
Who burnt their popcorn?
someone at HHS.
We saved the
At least-
popcorn.
Yeah, at least, overhead watered into one.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Popcorn.
Let's move along here. We install GPS and front facing cameras in a highway shop. That's more your department. Why don't you address that?
Oh, I don't know, we thought we approved it, I don't know, it's property.
Right, so highway approved installing GPS and front-facing cameras in 25 trucks, 25 units out at the highway shop. So we wanted this to go through property because if it's successful out at highway, the thought is to expand it to the fleet.
GPS and cameras will track the vehicle no matter where it is, the cameras will be activated.
We talked about that
Yeah.
before.
I don't remember what the cost was for the 25 units.
14,000.
14,000 something?
Out of highway.
Is that per year, a month, what is it?
Or was it 1 year?
Hey,
That's out of their budget.
You'll have the install, but then you'll have a yearly maintenance after that, which that be.
You do that
Yeah, I think it was
already
$8,000
on
a
the first stage,
year
Yeah.
after the first
Yeah.
year.
Is that stuff all to the cloud?
It'll also back up, it's all satellite, so everything will
Yeah.
back up in their computer on the cloud.
Yeah, well, I would assume it would be.
I would think that, we talked about that before, I think it would be worthwhile. You know, just from the standpoint of tracking maintenance on the vehicles.
What did you say the cost on that was, from 25?
I thought it was
It
14.
was like 14,000 for the first year and then
8,000
something for the following
next year.
These systems are, more and more I get into them, these systems also let us know when there's something going on with the truck. We can check in to kind of see what's going on with them, when they start throwing check engine lights, stuff like that, not wearing seat belts, everything.
Which 25 really ain't enough to do everything okay, but
A lot of our state trucks are addressed with the GPS already, coming from the state, they have them in there already, but these are add-ons to a lot of the trucks that don't have anything.
this is just to make the property more aware of what we're doing at highway, so that
Mhm.
if it works good out there, we'll probably do it to the fleet.
So you're not really asking for a motion, you just already approved that.
Just come out of our equipment fund.
Okay, let us know how it works.
Do we need a motion to approve that?
No.
Okay. Cell phone for the commission.
Yeah, I've just got my personal cell phone right now, looking for a company phone, that way when I'm out be working on jobs, have to get a hold of people for townships, whatever, I have a phone that I can talk on. Cause otherwise I gotta go back to the office, I gotta make more phone calls, and if I'm looking at a job, it's easier to call them while I'm out there, just ask any questions on the job, or anything that's changed or anything like that.
Well, we have it for like the foresters and all that. You know, their own cell phone, I mean, there's no reason, I don't see any reason why not. What is it, like $30 a month or something?
I
Well,
think,
the cost of the phone,
yeah, it's the
the cost of the case.
Didn't Scott have them?
I think he got
Scott had his
the personal,
Stipends.
so the reimbursement goes with the position and not the person, so like, if he wanted just reimbursement for his personal cell phone at that $30 a month, he wouldn't have to get approval, but since he's switching to the county issued cell phone, it's just a formality to go through, and his committee already approved it coming year.
Well, the way I look at it, if it's a county owned phone, then it'll stay there, if something, you know, if I leave or whatever happens, that phone will stay there, all the contacts will be in it, you know, for,
Yeah.
you know.
I'll make a motion. to approve the Phone,
A second?
Terry can second it, I already approved it through highway, so.
Okay, I'll second.
Twisted, you know? Any more discussion? Not all those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We're down to hangar lease number 5.
So on Gary's notes, he just said waiting for a grant there, return signed Macy sent.
What?
so is he gonna take it at the, what we talked about, keeping the rate?
I think, I assume so, yeah, this
But
is,
if-
I haven't
if
heard
not-
anything more since the last meeting.
Is that the heated one?
Yes,
If not, let me know, cause the heated hangar is easy to rent out, especially not in the, I mean, he could get the quadplex for cheaper, but he doesn't want it, cause that's a nice separate hangar by yourself, I mean, anybody would want that hangar. So it'd be easy enough to rent out. I think we still got the empty one in the quadplex, so, right?
I believe so, yeah, I think so.
So
One right
somebody
next to you.
already wants that
Yeah.
hangar? Or are they already in it, or they want it?
It sounds like somebody wants it.
Yeah, I don't know anything more since the last meeting, this is just the note he wrote on there. But I'm assuming if he's signing the lease, that means he is okay with, paying the higher rate. Or paying the, you know, the stated rate, not getting a discount.
So, we need to approve this now? Or we-
No, I
he
don't think
just-
you have to
I think
approve it,
that's
I think
just
it's-
Information.
his report, yeah, he's just not here to mention it.
Land acquisition, I'm sure that's something Gary's been dealing with.
It just says in motion, that's what he's got written down.
We talked about it last month, so I think
Yeah.
it's just providing that update.
So no action now? We're gonna fall out of here for showing you what's happening. Be done. Yeah, I guess we need to get insurance and county car report.
Yeah, I emailed those to you guys, we'll have better reports for county car next month with it, with property getting moved up a week and the holiday, we don't have the mileage for the second quarter entered in yet, so, by next month, we'll have more
Yeah.
accurate representation.
Do you need them?
Yeah.
Where'd you look at them?
See,
Yeah, look at the stuff I got.
Nobody smash something up?
No, there really hasn't been anything significant added, we did have a, you know, just incident-only workers' comp claim for our employee that was involved in that grader accident, but there may be a property claim coming, for the
We
grader.
had Fabi come out to take a look at the grader, for the parts that are broken on the grader and stuff like that, so he's supposed to be getting us pricing for parts on it.
So we may have one, that'll be in next month's report.
How'd the people end up that were in there? That were into that grader?
One died.
He's deceased and she is in rehab in Wilmington.
Okay. Anything new on insurance update?
No, just that you know, they did that appraisal the last couple weeks, they were working on that, where they were looking at buildings and stuff like that. I know Scott took them around to some of the, buildings, the insurance company's having all the buildings appraised to make sure that we have accurate values for everything.
Was the hospital under that also?
No, they asked, and we said no, because we aren't carrying property insurance on the hospital, so.
We never did.
No, because it was under, you know, it was never on this insurance policy because
Or should have probably carried their own insurance.
Marshfield carried their own insurance, and then prior to that, you know, the hospital, even though it was part of Rusk County, they had their own insurance there too, so, we didn't think it was worth their time to go, and we're not carrying property insurance on it to do that.
Okay. Man, yeah, like left you. Door swipe project, what is that?
The badges.
Badges?
Ain't it, door swipe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Gary's notes for those first three just say in progress, also fire alarm, extra pole station, and dispatch.
So it basically, door swipe, the camera system, that's referring to the highway too?
Nope, that's part of the door swipe project, the same company is coming in and putting cameras in the building. That was in ARPA, I think $120,000, so it's upgrading the existing cameras and adding new ones.
I guess since we're on the camera thing, we were actually looking at getting a few more cameras at the county shop. So I don't know if we'd have to get that through. Does that system run through the courthouse too?
Bugs can see it, our cameras out there.
He can?
He called the other day, he said he couldn't get into the cameras that we had.
Okay, then,
But I don't know if they put, you know, it was IT that put them in before.
yeah, they could probably just add to the system.
Because
More
we're looking,
cameras.
I don't know if it would come out of the buildings and ground, I'm sure it would come out of highway budget for that. but-
yeah.
The camera, just the cameras ain't that
Did you
much
just get
money.
some cameras not that long ago?
Yeah, we got a couple new ones put out there because we had some that failed, they put in some new different ones out there that we had to rewire in. That's back there by the salt shed and all that, where you can see if there's anything happening back there, anything that does happen, it's all on camera.
We've got a few more in the shop and then some other buildings that's in the blind spot that you can't see.
What are you in the shop for? What do you mean in the shop for?
Safety.
I feel like you could end up by having a camera everywhere, but at some point there's like.
Yeah,
a-
but,
Well, they're in the courthouse, they're
Yeah,
gonna be
they're
everywhere in the courthouse.
in the shop, we got guys working there at night.
They need to watch people work.
Oh, but it's a good idea to have one, especially out in the main shop area where these guys are working around trucks or underneath them or whatever else.
Or OSHA too.
For a safety factor. I don't think it's a bad idea at all.
Everybody thinks cameras out there to get you, they're not, they save your
No,
butt more, they save your butt more than they hurt you, trust me.
How do you find that out with evidence?
Mhm.
I'm just thinking,
Picture just doesn't lie.
I'm just thinking you can spend a lot of money, I mean, you could put a camera everywhere,
Yeah, you could.
but at some point it's not really doing that much.
Well, we got servers and switches. That's for Bugs department, and he's not around.
In progress.
In progress.
Well, I think that's what the arrow, the triple arrow means.
And IT items. I would address that.
6 items is what it says.
6 items.
That's what Gary's note said.
Oh,
We approved that last month again, so.
we don't have any update from the Bugs or anything. Anyway.
Did we miss the windows on the
Yeah,
agenda?
there's not listed.
Well, you guys, the windows here. Oh,
Security windows,
Security.
not on the agenda.
Not on the agenda. We were talking about one for the clerk's office and one for the.
well, I guess that could go under building
ROD.
security.
Register of deeds you're talking about.
I think Mary had asked for it to wait another month.
Wait another month on the
Those are
security
the
window?
windows, the security windows, do we have anything?
Lead time's 5 weeks.
Well, it's not on the agenda, is it?
I didn't know if it was under like the building security, but.
No, that wasn't under there, so I don't think we can. Okay, so, but see, the thing is, the people who are building our jail, there's new technology with those windows, and we talked about replacing all of our windows in the courthouse. So sheriff's office, clerk of courts, treasurer with new safety glass. So the little circle thing and the slidey thing are not,
The slidey thing,
cause you
like
can
at the
put a
bank when you
gun
go.
under the
Okay.
slidey thing, or the little gap. So there are new windows where they're offset just a little bit like this. With, what's the name of that glass? Corey always says. Anyways, it's like bulletproof glass, but the design of the window is far, far safer. So I really think we should probably hold off on doing window things until,
I agree.
We
with
hear-
all that one, so.
yeah.
That might be part of the whole courthouse jail project.
Right.
That might be a good time to close up some of them entrances too. I don't think you could for a fire hazard.
You mean like permanently block them off? Right, I think probably not.
Well, it all depends, because there's other exits throughout the building, not just in 4 doors, there's other exit doors, so. You just have to lay out the fire plan for it. But that could be a discussion when we get down that road. So,
Well, is there anything else we got on here? I think we've covered it, except the bills, and we ain't got those, so.
We didn't cover the hours, but I don't think there's a support on it.
For the IT hours, well, that went to personnel last night,
it starts now.
and they approved weekend hours, through the end of the year to get those larger projects done.
Mainly the
Approve
servers.
Yep.
They approve what?
That the IT can work weekend hours through the end of the year to get the larger, like the server project done, as long as they're, as long as they're still open during normal business hours available.
So that approval here?
Right.
Do we need to approve that?
No.
Well, we already covered the bridge. Yes, then. And reconsider funding. Already took care of that. Nothing else left.
August 11th would be the next meeting.
No, the fourth.
It's gonna be the 4th,
Why is it gotta be the 4th?
It's gonna be
We
the
talked about
fourth.
that last month.
cause it's Fair Week, the 11th would be fair, so then Char wouldn't be around.
Yeah.
Are we doing it at the courthouse, or we,
It's up to you guys. We could do it at the fairgrounds.
yeah, can we do one at the fair?
We can.
Well, if you do it at fairgrounds, it always have to be the senior center.
Mhm.
That's what we did last year.
Yeah, I know.
Do we, I mean,
So you just want to hear the catch.
it's up to you if you want to, if you'd just rather have it.
Let me talk to.
When is the fair?
And then,
The fair is the week after that.
Yeah.
Last, 7th, 8th, or 9th, 10th, 11th.
So it wouldn't interfere with anything.
oh, I can't do it in the morning, cause I've got highway.
You could probably have lunch at the senior center after the meeting.
Huh?
You could have lunch at the senior center after
Oh,
the meeting.
boy.
Well, would that be just limited to Tony, or?
You can buy one.
I don't think you're old
You
enough.
don't have to be a senior.
Oh, you don't have to be
We
a
could-
senior.
we
You don't
could-
have to be a senior.
We could be your grandsons.
Okay, so are they gonna do it at the senior
Thanks a
center?
lot.
Are we doing it at the senior center then?
Huh?
Are we doing it at the senior center?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Senior center,
Got it.
Senior center on August 4th,
Are we in?
8:30?
George hasn't called me.
8:30.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, if
Set
you.
up the same thing, set up for 11.
Okay.
We'll just do it.
Anybody have a motion to adjourn?
Final?
Motion made and seconded to adjourn.
Get your keys.
We are adjourned.
Yeah.
No, it'll be your plane.
Okay.
August 4th
At the senior
at
center.
senior center.
Oh,
We still gotta stop it and see.
Did you? You just told me this.
Yeah.
Seen somebody over here mowing, I pulled up.
Yeah, Rob wanted to come home right there, he's back over that way. Going out that way, get rid of the water.
There's a yellow one sitting there somewhere with a big mower on it.
Yeah, he said.
We're gonna check out my plans.
I think there's an issue.
Kind of looking at the tires, so I don't know if they have a flat tire or.
Look at the fender. Look at the fender.
Something's wrong. Looking at the tire. So you can't
I
affect the
need to
flat.
talk to you about something super quick before you go.
You got some of that aviation fuel all here, we put a little bit
No,
of
but
meat in later, you blow it back up.
three architects reached out to me. They always wait till the last minute, always. The jail people delivered them the day they were due.
If the kids wanna see an airplane, we're heading out to my hangar. More than welcome.
I can't say happy coasters, so I'm wrong.
You can say it if you want.